Die Namen der 17 Teilnehmerinnen und die Reihenfolge im Wettkampf sehen Sie Natalya Lisovskaya, UdSSR. Sie ist auf die Weltjahresfeste 1986. Für das Startnummer 639 Mihaela Loghin und Heidi Krieger. Kugelstoß Natalya Akhrimenko, sie ist Zweite mit 20 Meter und 60 ist hier.
Sekunden, das ist neue Meisterschaftsbestleistung. Mitkova.
And here you've come in just in time to see Lisovskaya of the Soviet Union. Lisovskaya, who tops the rankings, and one would expect that of the world record holder. Myrtle Augee in the background there, just to right of picture. She was the very first to throw, number 841, Natalya Lisovskaya, 21 meters and 70 this season. And my goodness me, what a mighty lady she is. The Soviet champion, has won most of the competitions that matter this year. Her world record, though, was set back in 1984 at 22 meters and 53. She was 5th in the World Championships in Helsinki, so she'd done a fair bit of work between 83 and 84 to take that world record. She's had tremendous success in World Indoor Games, World Student Games, European Cup and World Cup, so I don't think they come more experienced than this young lady. The leading throw at the moment, Hartwig of the German Democratic Republic with 20 meters and 14, and Mitkova of Bulgaria, she's second with 18 meters and 35. We're in the first round. Just like the true champion, waiting for the instruction to go forward to there's the 20 meters 14 up on the board for Hartwig. That was the reason for the hold up. No thrower allowed into the circle until the score of the previous putter has been put on the board. Lisovskaya. 8 pounds 13 ounces the shot. So we're waiting for the start of the next heat of the 100 meters. And I wonder whether this will be the leading putt. And she's gone out of the front. It's a no throw. It won't affect the lead. Well, a familiar sight for British viewers. Judy Oakes, Great Britain, of course, Commonwealth silver medal. And a young lady who's dominated British shot putting for some years now, and diminished in stature, certainly, alongside some of the girls out there. She's only 5 feet 5 and 12.5 stone. It's the first round. Oh, once she's gone out of the front. It was about 18 meters and 50, but it won't count with the red flag raised. Let's have a look at this. Technically not too bad. A little bit off the back foot, overbalanced at the front, as you see, and steps out. Well, Krieger of the German Democratic Republic is in the circle, as you see, but just to update you, Akhrimenko of the Soviet Union leads with 20 meters and 31. Hartwig, the other is German girl, 20 meters and 14 in second. Plotzitzka of the Federal Republic of Germany, 19 meters and 18. Then Loghin of Romania, 19 meters and 11. So it's quite a battle going on. No one with the outstanding put yet. But Krieger has a best of 20 meters and 71. Another one of the former European junior champions. Still in the first round. Didn't quite get the right leg underneath, but that's a big put. And that looks as though it's the lead. It looks to be about 21 meters. And I would think that Krieger has gone into the lead. Very wide brace, but that's what it's all about in East Germany, and that is the lead, just over 21. And I think the little smile indicates to you that she's fairly happy with that opener. And it's a personal best, or a best for the season, certainly. 21 meters and 10. That's the rest, that's the target that the rest have to chase now. So Krieger moves ahead of Akhrimenko of the Soviet Union, Akhrimenko I should say. And Krieger, a fine bunch of East German putters. Ursula Stäheli of Switzerland, 28 years old, the Swiss champion. 17 meters and 78, her best. So we've got a full range here. The full ability range. Didn't really get across the circle, hasn't got the stature of the other girls, and the end result, I suppose, all one could expect. And let me just say to you that the javelin qualifying is taking place at this time, and Royal Bradstock of Great Britain has 72 meters and 66, and Mike Hill and Dave Otley, they compete in the next qualifying round, which is at 6:40 your time, but the qualifying standard is 79 meters and 50. And only one man has gone over that at the moment, and that's Tafelmeier of the Federal Republic of Germany. Everyone else is struggling. Qualification very high indeed. But the standard is very, very high. Abashidze of the Soviet Union, fourth in the Olympic Games in Moscow in 1980. She's got a bronze medal, incidentally, in the last European Championships, and was fourth in Helsinki in 1983. One of the band of throwers that have dominated the event for such a long time. Abashidze now 30 years old. Best this season, 20 meters and 56, so she's what, about a meter down on her best performance, which she set in Olympic year in 1984. But of course she was one of those denied the opportunity to go to Los Angeles. Quite a big field because there was no qualification. It's a straight final. And if you've just come in, then Judy Oakes had a no throw in this first round, and so did Myrtle Augee. The two British girls have yet to score. Very fast indeed, and it didn't seem to go the distance that the speed across the circle seemed to indicate it might. Very fast, as you see, but the timing obviously not there, because the end result is way down on what, 19 meters, about 1870 I would think, and I think there's the evidence that it's raining. And what a shame that is. And I tell you that Heidi Krieger, the young East German who's thrown 21 meters and 10 in that shot, will be looking up and saying, well, thank goodness I got the big throw in early. Well, we've just come back to have a look at the Olympic champion, Claudia Losch of the Federal Republic of Germany, top Western European, lives in Munich, an optician by trade. 4 national titles in the shot in West Germany between 1982 and 85. Now, and that well greeted by the crowd. It looks to be just over 20 meters, or is it just short of 20 meters? It's around the 20-meter line. It certainly isn't the lead, and the Olympic champion will have to wait. The last thrower in the first round of the shot, and what difficult conditions indeed greet Ines Müller of East Germany. If you think that Heidi Krieger, the East German, the 21-year-old, threw 21 meters and 10, well, Müller is in fact the East German champion. Krieger is not. So what a standard they've got domestically. And Müller was 8th in the Olympic final in 1980, was another European junior champion back in 1977. So how well the Eastern Europeans bring these athletes on. I say, look at those conditions and the early throws, or at least the good early throws. I wonder what Müller's thinking. I wish I was throwing earlier, perhaps. Taking time to settle. It's important that the shot is dry on the hand. See that little rubbing movement? That's to make sure that the contact is proper, and she's not happy. This event, of course, dominated by Eastern Europe since 1946, right the way through till 1974 and since. And that's short of 20 meters, and it looked to me as though the shot actually slipped out of her hand. Didn't get across the circle, and her head was down at the end, which suggests that she didn't have the proper platform from which to lift. And you just saw Helena Fibingerová prancing across in front. Fibingerová competing in her 6th consecutive European Championship. Müller, 19 meters and 23. And that puts Müller into 5th place. Krieger still leading with 21 meters and 10. That's Krieger with her there, the girl who holds the lead at the moment. And I must say that in these conditions, 21 meters and 10 is going to be very difficult to beat. There it is for you. The first to throw in the next round will be Myrtle Augee, Britain's 2nd representative. Only 2 representatives here. I began to say that the event's been dominated by Eastern Europe, and the only time it wasn't was Stockholm in 1958, when it was won by a West German. And of course we've got the Olympic champion as a West German here, but really in these conditions she doesn't have a great deal of chance at the moment, unless it abates or unless she can produce something very, very special. Myrtle Augee, a bit of a hold up in that shot once again. That's the 3rd. Just waiting, and it is so difficult because the more rain, of course, the circle gets slippery and you're afraid to drive across it. And that is an example, because that's just over 16 meters, and obviously Myrtle won't be too happy with that. There are 17 starters in this shot competition. She's got 13.37 and probably only 1 more throw to qualify for the last 8, and 3 more throws. The British number 2. Judy Oakes, 2nd round, no throw in the 1st. And Myrtle Augee in 15th place with 16 meters and 37. 2nd round of this final. The United Kingdom record holder needs 19 meters now. And she's got just about, well, it looked to be about 17.5 from here. Very easy. And one sensed that she was just getting the put in, and the next one, well, she'll have to go some, because she's only got 3 throws to get her through into the last 3 rounds. With 17 starters, it's important that the next round is a good one.
Well, now news from the marathon course, and Rosa Mota is way ahead.
Still going, 9.88. Stephanie Storp of the Federal Republic of Germany. And no change in the lead. Krieger, 21 meters and 10. Akhrimenko, 20 meters and 68. And Storp, only 17.5 years old and 6 feet 4 tall. And I suppose they're the credentials for success in this event. When she matures just a little bit, 17 meters and 99. She's got the Olympic champion to train with at home, and that must be a benefit. She was 2nd in the World Junior Championships this year. A 2nd round throw. A little bit raw, but that's just short of 19 meters. That's much better. And she breathes a sigh of relief there. Her best is 19.11. No real activity in the right leg. Lacks a little bit of athleticism, I fancy. And once the conditioning starts, once she matures a little bit, then I think we could be seeing a fine thrower of the future. Certainly with that height and the length of lever. 18 meters and 45. It's a big advance for her. Short of her personal best. That puts her in 8th place. 1:65. Asta Hovi of Finland, she's next into the circle. And just to update you on the Heike Drechsler jump that you saw, the scoreboard showing 6:44, then it went to 6:85, which was more like it. And of course that was a qualification distance, so we shan't see any more of Heike Drechsler today. She is through to the final. Hovi, 17 meters and 54 there in the first round, in 12th place. Once again, needs to develop a little bit more range across the circle. It's 7-foot circle. Attempts to drive off the back, but doesn't quite get the sort of momentum and the timing associated with that momentum, and doesn't really use those legs at all. That was pretty well all arm, and she won't be challenging anywhere near with that. She's followed by the leader, Heidi Krieger, 17:82. It's a little bit better for her, but still in 12th place. The event itself, the big advances came between 1966 and 1969, when winners' distances went from 17 meters and 22, that was in Budapest in 1966, to 20 meters and 43 in Athens in 1969. And East Germans have challenged the Soviets for the supremacy in this event over the years. Chitsova of the Soviet Union won the title 4 years running. And of course, the biggest East German name, who isn't competing here, Ilona Slupianek, she won the title in 1978 and 82, disqualified for taking drugs after the 1982 games, and came back in time to win the world title in Helsinki in 1983, and has since turned from being a kindergarten teacher to a politician. So, Krieger, second round, leading with 21 meters and 10. A typical East German technique, and that's just below the 20-meter line. And you just sense that when she started to move across the circle, she arched the back a little bit, didn't really get the hips and the lift of the legs into the throw, and the timing was wrong by the time the arms got into the action run.
Here's a girl that shows all the confidence of someone who's hit a lifetime best in the first round and has seen the rain come down in the second round. And she has the poise of a champion, this East German girl, as most of them do. We've seen the West German girl, who was, by comparison, less athletic, slightly clumsy, but a lot of potential. But this girl, Krieger, 21 meters and 10 centimeters, looks a very considerable athlete indeed.
Just to update you on the long jump, Mary Barclay has had a no jump. There are 2 jumps going at the moment. Remember the target, 6 meters and 60, and she's had a no jump, and there are 3 attempts overall. There are 2 groups, 2 separate groups, and they're both aiming at the target of 6 meters and 60. But what will really happen is that the top 12 overall will go through to the final, if of course the qualification distance isn't exceeded. But we're back into the shot circle with Stäheli of Switzerland. She's way down the field at the moment, and in 15th place, just ahead of Myrtle Augee, 16:75 to 16:37. She chases the shot across, but doesn't have the stature to back up the movement across it. And I wonder whether we shall see any action from Abashidze, the Soviet girl. Is now 30 years old. There she is, 8:17. But having said that, the heavily strapped elbow, well, that's something that the throwers will do anyway, just to give them a little bit of a psychological confidence as well as to cover an injury. And she just puts the chalk on the 8-pound 13-ounce ball and makes her preparations.
Just while she's going in the circuit, I can let you know that Raoul Bradstock has done 76 meters 52. There's Raoul. In the third round is a better one. He too having to contend with the rain, and it's you'll hear a cheer go up because there's another qualifier, Kalita of the Soviet Union, who followed Raoul Bradstock. He's launched his spear straight over the qualification mark, so he's in. Here's the Soviet girl in the shot circle.
Well, that's better. That's just about on 20 meters, as you see. Not very happy Soviet thrower there. 1992 was her best before, and just looking to see where she stands at the moment. She's well down the field in 13th place. Claudia Losch of the Federal Republic of Germany will follow Abashidze. 1985, the
978. Claudia. 1992, 4th place with that. Lives in Munich. Top Western girl in this. Stuart Story was saying the event tends to be dominated by the Eastern Europeans. They have much more pride in the event, quite apart from any training methods or any dubious qualities you may think about them. The fact is that shot put champion in East Germany is as much rewarded and as much fated as the top sprinter or 1500-meter runner. Not so much in the Western world, and Claudia Losch will suffer a little bit from that, although the West Germans have a fine record in these European Championships. Nestles that shot close to the neck, which he must do to keep by the rules, to put the shot rather than throw it. Listen for the big cheer, because that's moved her up. A lot of interest. German crowd particularly love their field events, and you'll see it when the decathlon's on. That's their favorite event. But she's a little more poised this time, stays lower in the circle, gets a bit of leg lift into it, gets over 20 meters, and enhances her position in this shot final. There it is, 20:36, and she moves up into the bronze medal position.
6 meters and 8 centimeters up on the board, and that means that she's just not going to make it.
That puts some perspective on Dreschler's jump, because she was way behind the board. Now that's 8:41 in the women's shot, and Lisovskaya appears to have gone out of the competition, and she can't believe it. She surely, the world record holder, surely can't be that bad, but that's how it looked. Top rank this season, Lisovskaya, real drama in the shot circle. 18:95, and she's wondering whether she's qualified for the 3 extra throws. 9th, and she must be out of 9th, and that is a real shock. First been a record holder going out in the shot.
News you might be waiting for of Phil Beattie in the 400-meter hurdles. He was placed 4th, given the same time as the 3rd athlete, 50 seconds dead. And our statistician, Stan Greenberg, believes that he has qualified as one of the fastest losers.
And news also of Raoul Bradstock. 76 meters and 52 was the distance he achieved. He was in 7th place in the first pool. Only 4 men qualified by right, that is to say over 79 meters and 50. Back in the shot, West Germany really beginning to surge forward as the top Western nation. Plotzitzka is this girl's name. She's only 20. 2nd in the German Championship. She comes from Munich and has a best of 19 meters and 26 centimeters. And they're just bringing her along, I would think. She's 5 feet 11, 12.5 stone, 18 meters and 58.
So the Russians, obviously, and the East Germans, very, very strong hands indeed.
The leader in the shot, Krieger, the German Democratic Republic. Heidi Krieger, who got a throw of 21 meters and 10. Well, she got that whilst it was dry, and then watched the rain pour down and make it so difficult for the rest to come anywhere near. 21:10 then the leading distance. Akhrimenko of the Soviet Union, 20 meters and 68 in 2nd. Müller of East Germany, 20 meters and 44 in 3rd. Then Losch, 20 meters and 36 behind her. That's good, and that's near 21 meters again. I would think that's about 20.75, 20.80. And it's a contented little smile. Look at that. I think I may have done it already, she says. Very wide stance, the short, long, or the short shift of the East Germans, which you'll see with Uda Bayer and all the great East German putters. 20 meters and 53. So she's got the first and the third best throw overall. Krieger in the shot. We're now in the fourth round. We've had a little bit of a hold up after the third to sort out the final 8. And they are Krieger, Akhrimenko, Müller, Losch, Hartwig, Abashidze, Plotzitzka, Loghin. They're the 8. And Judy Oakes, of course, didn't qualify with a best of 17 meters and 85. Myrtle Augee with 16 meters and 37. She also failed to qualify. Krieger has a best of 21 meters and 10. The second best throw, 20 meters and 53. It's absolutely tipping down with rain. Circle's getting slippery. She got behind that a little better, and that was another good throw. It looked to me to be just short of 21 meters. Very, very wide base, and for young throwers watching this, very difficult to copy, and perhaps they shouldn't. They have to be immensely strong to get out of that position, but she's the leader. Identify the leader as we watch Losch, the Olympic champion, in the fourth round of this competition. And that is not going to impress, I don't think. It's around about 20 meters. There it is, just over, and she's about a meter down, and she shakes her head and says, well, what can I do with this weather? And Losch has got, what, 2 more throws. 20 meters and 14 it is.
Meanwhile, in the shot,
Krieger, 21 meters and 10, you see, there's her series, 20 meters and 70 in the last round. And this is the 5th round of a shot competition that really was very much dampened by the rain in every sense, because the big throw came before the rain. And then the girl who didn't actually win the East German Championship this year finds herself in the lead as we go into this 5th round. Krieger proving to be a very good find indeed. Where on earth do they find them year after year? Got behind that one as well, and that's a very big throw, and that, I think, is better. That is the way to do it, she says. Remember, she's 21 years old, still has to mature, but watch the way she gets across the circle this time. Low and lifts, and the platform was established, the arm braced, and the fingertips floating that ball out to, I reckon, beyond 21 meters. Yes, it is 21 meters and 3, and that in these conditions is very, very fine putting. Not quite as far as her first round putt, but it does underline how much better this girl is at the moment.
meanwhile, in the shot,
Krieger, 21 meters and 10, you see, there's her series, 20 meters and 70 in the last round. And this is the 5th round of a shot competition that really was very much dampened by the rain in every sense, because the big throw came before the rain. And then the girl who didn't actually win the East German Championship this year finds herself in the lead as we go into this 5th round. Krieger proving to be a very good find indeed. Where on earth do they find them year after year? Got behind that one as well, and that's a very big throw, and that, I think, is better. That is the way to do it, she says. Remember, she's 21 years old, still has to mature, but watch the way she gets across the circle this time. Low and lifts, and the platform was established, the arm braced, and the fingertips floating that ball out to, I reckon, beyond 21 meters. Yes, it is 21 meters and 3, and that in these conditions is very, very fine putting. Not quite as far as her first round putt, but it does underline how much better this girl is at the moment.
it's one of the Soviet girls.
But meanwhile, we've got Krieger. It's drawing towards the end of this shot competition. Just 4 throwers left. She's one of the 4. 21 meters and 10, 21 meters and 3, her best 2 throws. Müller in second place with 20 meters and 81. She has 1 put left. Akhrimenko of the Soviet Union, 20 meters and 68. She's in third. And Losch, the Olympic champion, 20 meters and 54 in fourth. That's a big throw again. Just short of 21 meters. Now she must wait. The Olympic champion, 2 throws left, and that's just on 20 meters. And she stays in 4th place and thanks the crowd for their support. It's the last round and 1 thrower to come, and it's Ines Müller of East Germany who's in 2nd place with 20 meters and 81. Didn't quite get behind that, and the distance achieved underlined that fact. Just over 20 meters. And the shot competition really has come alight in the last round and a half. There's the series for the Olympic champion. And whilst we wait for Ines Müller, I can give you the javelin qualification. Mike Hill and Dave Otley have both qualified for the final. Hill with 77 meters and 94, Otley with 77 meters and 88. Roald Bradstock hasn't qualified, and the British boys were in 11th and 12th places overall. Just 2 or 3 qualifiers by right, but they're through. The last throw in the shot competition, and I wonder, 20 meters and 81, the silver medal assured, the bronze medal already to Akhrimenko of the Soviet Union. 21 meters and 10 to beat. And it's short, and the silver medal goes to the East German champion, and the girl that she beat in those East German championships says, I'm the one on the day. Thank you very much indeed. Müller, the silver. Akhrimenko, the bronze, and Krieger, the gold. 20 meters and 58, the confirmed distance for that final throw. But what a good competition it proved to be, with Heidi Krieger, a 21-year-old East German, a former European junior champion, has come through to be the new East German in winning European shot titles.
I'll be back.